Alright, hello everybody, Zaxter99 here with my girlfriend Addie. Hi Addie.
Hello.
Alright guys, we just got through playing a few minutes each Mighty Math, a game that just came out today on Steam because I was browsing all the new releases and this is the only one that even looked interesting to me. Not a whole lot of games usually launch on Saturday and Sunday, but there are a few. So this is a game, guys, where you collect value pieces that are floating across the screen, and you always try to keep your value in here between 0 and 9. And it shows you your value with the pluses. So, this here, like, for example, this would be a value of 5. And then if you get this 1, it's going to add another plus there, and so you'd have a value of 6. And then you come over here and get this minus 3, then you'd have a value of 3. So you always see your value, and you have to collect 3 numbers in this particular level, and it shows you how many numbers there are left that you can collect. But if you ever, like if this was say that the guy was about to collect this one here, and this was a 5, well, if he collects that, then you blow up, and it's game over. So pretty simple game. I mean, it's pretty clever, pretty creative or whatever. But the game is made to or brought to us by Treefall Studios LLC. I'm assuming this is just like one developer. But it talks about it's a mind-bending fusion of arcade survival and brain training all in one. Collect numbers and survive each round. If you collect numbers, you will change the player value. You must maintain a player value between 0 and 9. Anything else is instant death. So it comes in at a price tag of $4 here. It does have Steam achievements. Sadly, it doesn't have the leaderboards. And I'm going to show you why I kind of like this game and I like the idea of it. But I'm going to show you why this game is a refund for me. But it might be something that you want to purchase depending on what you like. So let's take a look at the gameplay and we'll do that right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. So when we launched the game is a Unity game. It feels like a Unity game. And again, I don't know what it is, Addy. I've been working in Game Maker since I started making games in 2017. But every time I play one of these Unity games, it just feels like when I'm moving my player or whatever you're moving in the game, it just feels like it's really floaty. And I don't know why. So let's go ahead and do a new run, guys. The controls just feel floatier than like Game Maker games that I make. I don't know why. But if you want to, it doesn't have any settings. So if you want to change like the volume or the effects volume or the music volume, you have to hit escape and then change it there. And you only have 3 settings on each, low, medium, and high, which I feel like you should have sliders or be able to set them from 1 to 10 or 5 to 20 or whatever. Like 5%, 10%, 20, 20 levels from 5%, 10%, 20, 15%, 20%, all the way up to 100, for example. But again, there's only 3 settings on each one. I guess it works. It's fine. So we're going to go ahead and hit escape again. And as you guys can see, you start off with 5 here. We're going to go ahead and collect that one, and then a -1. We've collected 2 of our 3 numbers, and we're going to be fine getting this -3. We'll go ahead and get this +2, because that's probably going to end up in a higher score at the end of the game. Because I think the more of these things you collect, probably the higher your score. We're going to go ahead and get this +1. We'll get this -3. We should get the other 5. -2, so we can't get this -7 or we'll blow up. So we're just going to go ahead and hold our right mouse button down and speed that up. And round ended, and we're at 5, which is a good number to start with, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and grab this -2. We don't want to get that -4, we'd be dead. We can get the +6, but we can't get the +9. Now I can come get this -4. I'll get this +2. Yeah, see, we can't get any of this, so we're just going to speed that along. We've already collected the 3 numbers we need to collect. A lot of 9s. This is a bad RNG for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Alright.
Need the Jeopardy theme song real quick.
Yeah, the music is... I don't... Addie says the music volume, or not the music volume, but the music is kind of annoying just because it's so high-pitched, and she might be right. The music is fine, but for whatever reason, I find it really annoying pretty quickly, so I feel like most people might be turning that off pretty quickly. Let's get the +3, get the -4, we can get the +4 now, we can get the -9, we can get the... I think it would be better to get out the +6 to the +2 to the +9. probably get us more points, and then we'll get rid of that one by holding our right mouse button down to speed it along. I mean, it's a clever little game. It's pretty interesting. And I'll talk about what I would like to see in the game. But again, yeah, just the controls feel so much floatier. I didn't even mean to get that one there. +1. Get this -2. We got it. Okay. Get that 5. There we go. Alright. So I haven't got past wave 8 yet. So there are achievements for each thing. We'll get this -7 to start things off. We'll get the +4. We'll get the -3. +5. Let's get the -4. Oh, I wanted to get that other -4. Let's get this one. Nope, I can't get the 6. I almost got the 6 and killed myself. Up. So, because of the slidey controls, I feel like the controls are really slidey. And again, I feel like this happens in so many Unity games. I just feel like Unity isn't the best 2D game maker. I just feel like the controls never feel as tight as like a 2D game in Game Maker. I've always felt like that, even before I started making my own games in Game Maker. But anyway, you see my high score, 1492. I got 1038 for that. And then we can either retry or we can quit. I feel like some people might really like this game. Again, I don't like the slidey controls. It's hard to explain exactly what I mean by that. Do you know what I'm talking about by chance, Addie?
Yeah, it's like a really fast glide. Like, for instance, when I first started playing, I kept easily hitting things because you're sliding your mouse way off the screen really easily.
Yeah, you don't see a slide when I go, but the controls feel slidey.
Yeah, it just feels like it when you play it.
Yeah. It's not tight like one of my Game Maker games, for example. I don't know. And I've said this about games in the past, about Unity controllers just feel...
I think puzzle games like that should have a little bit more, like, you feel like you're in control of it.
I think another description of it is like if I play one of my games and I'm using, my arrow keys or whatever, like in Zaxxerion, for example, that I made in Game Maker. I think this is a better way maybe to describe it. Like right now, I feel like I have no weight. I feel like this thing has no weight that I'm moving around.
Yeah.
And in like Zaxxerion, it feels like you actually have weight. Now, I'm sure that there's ways that they can make it feel like you have more weight in a Unity game, but yeah, so many games feel like this where maybe if it's a race car or a character or whatever, it just feels like you have 0 weight. So I don't know what Game Maker probably has default physics or something like that in 2D games that make it feel like you have more weight. And that's probably what I'm talking about when I say slidey controls. But, I don't know. Anyway, I don't really like the controls a lot of times in these 2D games, and this is yet another one. I mean, it's fine. You can get used to it. That's cool. But we're going to go +1. We can't hit the -9. We can't really get anything else, or we're dead. So we'll just speed it up there. So this is what it is, guys. I mean, you try to clear out... So I think my suggestion to the developer of Unity is maybe try to make it feel like you have more weight when you're moving your character around rather than making it feel like you have no weight. If you can, I'm sure there's ways to do that in Unity. But my bigger suggestion that's probably a lot easier fix is I feel like you should show the score, your current score way up here, or at least after every round, update your score and show it up at the top. I think that would be a lot better. And then my other suggestion to the developers here would be, with this game, give us leaderboards, man. I feel like you're charging a premium price for this game, and you don't even give us leaderboards. You have like 26 different Steam achievements, and that's fine. But I feel like having leaderboards so people like my girlfriend and I can compete against each other and, see leaderboards right in the game as well and say, haha, I beat you or whatever. So that's my 2 suggestions. That feels like that's probably 2 really easy suggestions, is to show a score in the middle so that at least after every round, it, updates your score and you see kind of where you're at after every wave or every level or whatever. And then leaderboards at the end of the game so you can see the top 10 or top 20 or the top 100 or whatever leaders of your game. Honestly, I feel like this game's just because I've been around, I know that even my games never get except I've only had one game that got 1,000 top scores, and that's Poggers. But I feel like this game's never going to get even probably 50 or 100 leaders or people that play the game to get the leaderboards. So I feel like if you just went top 20 leaderboards of the game, that would be cool. If you just showed the top 20 leaders as a final screen of your game, that would be cool. You got plenty of achievements. My problems with this game, guys, are kind of the gliding controls. That's not real big. I mean, you're going to get used to it. It's fine. Um, I feel like you could probably get a better song that's not maybe so high pitched that would be a little bit less annoying. Maybe a longer song. I feel like this one's only like the same 30 seconds over and over again or something. Maybe find like a 2 minute song instead. It's not so quite high pitched, and maybe at least I wouldn't find it as annoying. So hopefully those suggestions can help the developer of this game. It is made by a single person. I did see when I looked at the credits. But really, my biggest problem, Addy, with this game is that I feel like the price tag, $4, is pretty high for what it is. And I know that, I know that I can make a game like this in GameMaker. Honestly, I can make a game just like this in probably 3 to 4 hours max, and it would probably feel better because it wouldn't have such slidey controls. And I think that's just because of the natural physics and the controls that work in GameMaker automatically without having to work out any kind of mechanics inside the code. It's just going to feel better. I guarantee it. I think it would anyway. Maybe I'm just used to GameMaker 2 though. I don't know. But yeah, I could make something like this easily in probably 2 to 3 hours at the most. And knowing myself, we know what I'd probably do if I made this game. Like if I had come up with this concept, Addy, I don't think I would stop here. I think I would be adding more to the game. Like
Yeah.
I'd probably have numbers. This is probably what I do. Maybe the developer can use this idea. So I think I'm pretty creative when I come to my games and coming up with unique ideas. So this might be something the developer might wants to steal from me here. So I think what I might do as you get up, and I haven't got that far, so maybe the developer's already doing it. I don't know. But if not, like once you get up above level 5, for example, or maybe level 10 or whatever, maybe make these numbers slowly change. That could add something interesting. I know that he has the numbers slowly moving faster and faster, but rather than making the numbers move so fast so quickly, maybe you could also make the numbers not move so quite so quick so fast, but instead make some of the numbers change. Like maybe make the -2 go -1 and then bounce back to 0 and 1. Not 0, but maybe you could have it go down to -1 and then back to -2, or maybe have it go from -1 to +1, +2, +3, and don't have it go fast, but have it slowly change value over time. So if it takes you, a little bit to get over here to this number, then maybe I would probably have it flash red if it does change, so it's very obvious that it changed values. So maybe have it go like -2, and then have it flash red or flash a -1 real quick, and have it flash red for just a second, and then go back to black. That might be something that would be an interesting concept to your game that would add a little bit more variety in the game. There's a lot of things you could do with this game, as you level up to make things more interesting. I feel like I don't think I'd add any enemies or anything like that come after you. I think you're fine with the numbers, but maybe make the values change over time slowly as you get higher level. But there's just not enough here, I don't think, to warrant a $4 price tag. I feel like most people, even if they really, really enjoy this game, I feel like they might play this an hour and they'll be done with it for good. So if we look at this developer, Addy, we see that this is his 8th game, it looks like. And if we look at games like, I saw one here, yeah, we have this maze game here that he came out with back in June of 2020. So yeah, the graphics look nice for a 3D game. It's cool. I mean, this is pretty basic graphics for a Unity game, though. And it's just a simple little maze game where you're collecting these little rotating coins, and then we have some weird looking basic enemies that you want to avoid. But this looks like something, honestly, that might be a little bit of fun again, but definitely nothing. I like to get my games under $1 an hour for value, and this certainly doesn't look like a game I would ever put 10 hours into. Again, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 2 hours at the most. And it just felt like it's overpriced. So it looks like this developer, Addy, is kind of, I mean, I guess the value of a game is what the developer thinks it is, but I just say that I don't think this game's worth $4 and I'm going to be refunding it because I could make this exact same thing again in like 3 hours' time. And it would probably feel better to me because of the controls, and I could add things like the changing numbers and stuff like that. So I just feel like I could do this game better in like 3 hours time, um, and that's why I'm not going to keep the game. And even if I did do the game better in 3 hours time, like I wouldn't play it that much, to be honest. So I like the idea. I think it's unique. Addie, would you play $4 for this?
I would not.
You would not. It just don't feel like it's something you would play a
And I
long
do a
time.
lot of puzzle games and stuff. No, that's one that you're kind of like bored, can't really find nothing really to do, but yet you want to play something, but nothing get there. I might dabble in it every now and then, but
Right.
again, if you could do a little bit of competition, like fun play, then you could play it. You would play it more often because you would have a friend competing with you.
Right. Yeah, to the developer, I think my biggest suggestion to you would be to lower your price. I feel like this is like a $1.99 game, or maybe even a 99-cent game. And I just go to remind you, like, I mean, you could try it. You could try lowering the price to see if you get any more sales. You may not get any more sales because I know I've tried that with myself. Just being honest with the developer, I've tried lowering the price of a lot of my games down to about 99 or 99 cents as well, and it just doesn't seem to help the sales. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I get pricing the games higher just so that you make more money because anybody really interested in this game might pay the $4. Anybody that would pay 99 cents might pay $4. So I don't know. But if it doesn't sell, you might try lowering the price of all your games to see if they start selling. But yeah, a lot of these titles, looking at them, seem like $1.99 or $2 games, not $4 and $10 games. But that's just my feedback. I hope it helps. I'm sure it'll upset the developer that I didn't love it. But just being completely honest, I like the idea of the game. I think the idea is a great concept. I just don't think it's worth $4, especially when I feel like you probably only. I would be surprised if this developer spent more than 10 hours making this game. And so when you're trying to ask basically half, like $4 or $5 for a game you probably spent 8 or 10 hours making, I feel like you're asking way too much. Because like I know some of my games I've spent hundreds or 1,000 hours making, and I only charge $3 or $4 for it. So there is that, guys. I would love to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. However, be sure you let me know. Is this a game that has inspired you to go out and buy it and pay $4 for? Does it look like it's right up your alley? Please let me know. And I hope the developer of this game doesn't get upset that I didn't love it. But it's certainly not a bad game, and I like that he actually made his own game. I'd much rather see something like this than somebody cobbling assets together like we see all the time. Much rather see something like this. And I'd probably keep it if it was 99 cents or even $1.99, but $4, I'm going to be refunding it. All right, guys. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Take care.